What?
You were expecting? Well, Casey, we're wearing what I would call robot pants.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, and why are we wearing these robot pants?
We are wearing these robot pants because it gives us a great excuse to talk to Kathryn Zealand.
Yeah, so Kathryn Zealand is the founder and CEO of Skip. They're the company that makes these pants. The company spun out of X, the Google experimental research division, not the social media network owned by Elon Musk, in 2023. And since then, she's been working on this exoskeleton movewear, like these pants, which have been called e-bikes for walking. Let's bring on Kathryn Zealand from Skip.
Kathryn! Thank you, Kathryn.
Thanks for joining. You guys didn't see, but backstage, we just did the best quick change in theater history.
I just took my pants off in front of Patrick Hollison. So, Kathryn, in a few words, tell us who your products are for and what problem you're hoping to solve.
So I'm sure I'm not the only one here who's got a loved one that struggled with movement, or maybe you've got knee pain or had an injury. And so at Skip, what we want to do long term is help anyone achieve whatever they want to do, regardless of any kind of mobility impairment. This is our first product. This is the Mogo. And this is actually aimed at people who want to go hiking. But often, they may be struggling a little bit either with knee pain or with a kind of reduced mobility. So an e-bike was a really great analogy. It just kind of particularly helps with the inclines, steep hills and stairs, things like that. But then eventually will help, hopefully, everyone.
So tell us, what is in these pants? Folks who may be sitting a little further back may not be able to see, but in addition to these pants, which I believe you partner with Arc'teryx to make these pants, there's also some, pretty heavy machinery on here. So what is this stuff doing?
Yeah, so the real magic is kind of these lightweight motors. Here's one I prepared earlier. And really, it's only in the last decade or so that robotics has gotten efficient enough, affordable enough, light enough. You can have something this small that can do up to maybe 40% of like a healthy person's muscle forces. And so there's a motor that's kind of providing physical oomph. And then built into the pant, those near the front can maybe see this sort of a little bit of a cuff situation to help transfer that force to the body. Yeah.
And I know that one of the things that these pants can do is help you stand up, which you were sort of explaining to me is so helpful for folks who are older and need some help with that. And I thought, I need that help now. So I think your market may actually be larger than you first suspected.
Yeah, and I'm actually having a similar problem because I don't know if you noticed, but I'm quite pregnant. And
I wasn't going to say anything.
Thank you. It's 8 months. Kathryn joined us at 8 months pregnant, so please do give her a round of applause.
And all of a sudden, yes, I also need help walking upstairs and standing up out of chairs.
Now, do you envision a world where lots of people are wearing kind of exoskeleton-type movewear, or do you think this will primarily be for people who have mobility issues?
I think a bit of both. So I think if you're truly able-bodied, a product like this is probably just not worth your time necessarily. But there's a huge range of people who might be recovering from an injury. They might be pregnant. They might have a joint pain. They might have had a surgery. And so I think probably most people at some point in their life will use one of these products. And we also do R&D in things like Parkinson's disease and people who have more severe issues as well. But for sure, it's much broader than the first set of products that you're seeing coming on now.
As this technology develops and you're able to shrink it down, do you see a world where more able-bodied people might just choose to wear it because they like feeling a little bionic when they walk around town?
I was going to say, are you trying to dunk a basketball? Is that where you're headed?
I've been trying since 1992.
For sure, yes. But I would say, if you just want to make your exercise harder, because this is something that some people ask, like, oh, can I get resistance mode? You could also try ankle weights. I think they're going to make a comeback. Yeah.
That's good.
Now, exoskeletons are a staple of science fiction. I remember watching movies as a kid that had exoskeletons, and lots of other stuff in those movies has become commonplace, but not exoskeletons and this kind of hardware. So why is this taking longer than other types of futuristic technology?
I think there's 2 reasons. One is that hardware is hard, and people are really sensitive to what's on their body, right? So I mean, you're wearing an early version of the prototype, and it's probably not super comfortable. The fit's not always perfect, and you might tolerate an ugly or an imperfect robot if it's just kind of in a factory. But when you've got to wear something, it's important that it's comfortable, that it fits really well, that it looks good. So the bar is really high for anything that's worn. I think the second reason is actually around AI. And so, historically, exoskeletons and all robotics do very repetitive tasks, right? Like in a warehouse, doing lifting was one of the first places you saw exoskeletons actually become used because it's the same task again and again. But when you think about maybe an older adult who wants to like move about their community, they're doing lots of different movements and they're moving in weird ways. And I'm like a fidgeter. So, in one of our early prototypes, I was sitting at a very important meeting with my boss, and I was tapping my foot because I was a bit nervous. And all of a sudden, it thought I was trying to stand up. And it turns on, and it like throws my leg up, and the whole table goes like, and everyone's water spills, and there's chaos.
That was actually the plot of Megan 2.0. That happened there.
Okay, well, so we've talked a bit about this product. Anything else we should know about it before we see what it can do?
You signed the disclaimer, right, backstage?
No.
Yeah.
No, we're just going to wing it.
Excellent.
So Leah, let's stand up and maybe take us through
So start
the demo here.
by turning it on even while you're sitting if you want. There's a little button at the back here. Press and release, and the LEDs should change
Mine
color.
is already blue. Does that mean it's on?
No, that means it's
Yeah.
now you're.
Whoa, hello.
And so now you can try standing up.
Yep.
And sitting back down is like a very common movement.
Okay, I feel like I'm, this is giving Mecca. Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, you can do some squats.
It actually is helping me stand up. And
Yeah.
that's awesome.
No, this is great. I feel, like, when you have like a spotter at the gym, you wouldn't know. It's like that feeling when you're just getting a little boost. Yeah.
Exactly. But the problem is you both strike me as quite fit, healthy people.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, we're always hearing that.
Exactly. So we were trying to think, like, what's a way that we could make this, a little bit more challenging for you, so you really can appreciate the technology. So have you noticed that there's a Stairmaster behind
The
you?
Stairmaster!
I did. Can I try?
Yeah.
With my, okay, please clap.
Yeah.
Wow, we're really doing it. Okay, let's put the stairs on. Okay.
So, like about a level 3 or 4.
Okay, I'm at 5. I like to live on the edge.
Great.
Okay, it's good. It's like, I feel like what I'm doing is not climbing stairs. It's like climbing stairs adjacent. It's sort of like the physical equivalent of vibe coding. I'm vibe walking.
Right.
Okay.
And one problem we have is like your brain is amazingly good at getting used to a new feeling. And so sometimes people, they're not even sure how much it's helping. So if you want, we could turn it off and then you might see the difference.
Oh, you're gonna remotely disable it?
Yeah, please.
I'm
God.
just saying we can if
No,
you want.
do it. I wanna experience this on my own 2 feet.
All right, we're gonna turn you off in 3, 2, 1, off.
Oh yeah, that's much harder. I don't like that. Can you turn it back on?
You want it back on?
Yes, this is how you get your customers. They can't go back.
This is genuinely how
I've
we
heard
often
of the
get
hedonic
customers.
treadmill, but this is ridiculous.
Okay, you're back on now.
Okay,
Is that a bit easier?
that's good. Thank you.
I mean, I think that was all right, I don't know that it could be done better.
Oh, would you like to try?
Would it be okay if I tried?
I think so, but do you need some music?
It would, honestly, Maestro, if you could cue something up, it might sort of help me get going a little bit.
Oh, backwards. You're nailing it.
Amazing. That was great. I think when I kicked my legs up, the Stairmaster stopped because it was afraid for me.
Yeah, but it's always a good sign when the worst part of our demo that goes wrong is the Stairmaster, so that's a win.
Absolutely.
That was incredible. Now, Kathryn, tell people where they can find out more about these pants if they're interested.
Yeah, so we're Skip, so skipwithjoy.com. I presume that'll be in the show notes. And you can pre-order them now. We'll be shipping next year. And we also do like rentals and experiences, especially for folk who like really want to achieve like a dream hike, but they're not able to at the moment. We're trying to help them do that and get feedback.
And how much for the pants?
A bit like an e-bike, so $5,000.
All right, well, Kathryn, thank you so much for joining us. We really had a great time.
Of course.
Thank you.
This was so
Thank
fun.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'm sweating.
We're doing great. Woo. All right. Well, Kevin, as we say at the end of so many podcast segments, it's time to get out of these pants.